Hey, Steph.
Hey, Anthony, how's it going?
Going all right. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited because it's companion pass season, which is my favorite time of year.
Exactly. I love it. Where you at? Did we catch you at home this week?
I'm at home. I'm in Nashville. Yeah,
What are the odds?
I know, especially in the winter. I kind of hate being here in the winter.
I
Uh,
love it. We're in between. The holiday break, I didn't know what to do with myself, and I just kept booking trips. So we're gone every other week for like the next 2 months.
I mean, that's kind of how it happens, right? Just get out of town. Like that's literally what we do. Ooh, okay.
That's the idea.
Like an aggressive
Oh,
beat.
that's awesome.
Ooh,
I love it. Well, I think we've got everybody's attention then, right?
yeah, I think so.
So we can probably get rolling. Well, cool.
Awesome. Yeah. So today we're going to talk about the Southwest Airlines Companion Pass. So if people have kind of been with us for a little while, if you were here with us in November, you might have seen us do a similar presentation before. So this could be some review for some of you, but I still would stick around and listen because every time we go through this, there might be different questions that people ask, or there might be kind of different aha moments. I think it probably takes more than once through to really kind of understand the concept and how to do it. But that's what we're going to be talking about today. So let's dive in.
I love it. Yeah, and a couple of people are asking because it says Q&A, so we'll just hit it now. Stephanie's got a lot of great info to share with us, and then it's going to turn to some Q&A as we go here. So feel free to drop your questions in the chat. We've got some of our experts in the chat who will answer some of them there, and we'll kind of grab the best ones, the most relevant ones. We'll grab those for you, Stephanie, either to work in or have a few at the end here.
Yeah, I wanted it to be a little bit of a Q&A situation. I want to be able to answer people's questions as we go.
Yeah,
I don't just want it to be me talking at you all. So we'll definitely open the floor for some questions. Love it. And we're going to be focusing on what we'd consider the mid-year strategy. I know we're not mid-year, we're still very early in the year, but if you've seen people talk about the Southwest Companion Pass around the internet or in different groups, they all kind of talk about it in like October, November, and then everyone kind of goes radio silent until next October, November. So I love that we're talking about this now because a lot of other places, they just kind of stop giving you advice once January comes. So we're giving you advice on what to do now that we're kind of past that October, November time of year and we're into like the actual year of 2025, like now what? That is the kind of idea of what we're going to talk about today.
that's good. So we're not too late. There's still time to take
No,
advantage of this.
oh, we're
Good.
way not too late. I would say, you could be still doing all the things we're going to talk about in this, like all the way up until I'd say like June or July. I think after that, I would relook at my strategy, but this is going to be relevant for the next several months.
That's great.
All righty. So this is me, 5-year. I think this is actually my 6th year. Companion pass holder, 30 plus flights per year on Southwest. I typically fly. I'm not A-list preferred anymore. I'm just a regular old A-list, but either way, I have status with Southwest and just an overall Southwest enthusiast. I participate in lots of like groups around the web and lots of forums, kind of just participating and learning about the airline and their status programs and nuances with everything that they do over there at Southwest. So, what is the Companion Pass? So, this is unique to Southwest Airlines. And I also want to reiterate like, this isn't a thing that Jay Goot sell. Like, this isn't a thing that we made up or that we do or that we sell. This is something that Southwest Airlines has as a function of their program. It's a status that they offer. And we just teach you how to get it faster and more efficiently without kind of interrupting your other JGOOT plans for earning points on your transferable cards like your Chase Sapphire or your Amex. So the Companion Pass from Southwest, that allows you to fly a friend or family member, really whoever you want, with you for just the taxes and fees on every flight you fly for up to a maximum of 2 years. So every time you book a flight, you have a designated companion. You do have to designate them ahead of time. And you just click to add your companion and they are added to your flight. You just pay the taxes and then they have a seat on that plane. As long as there's a seat on that plane, they can fly with you. They board in line with you. They can sit next to you when they do the assigned seating. Your companion will actually, you can pick their seat with you. So it's a really, really cool program, and no other airline offers anything really even close. How does this compare, or how does it differ from other companion passes? Alaska and Delta have a companion pass program. I think some others may too, but theirs are very, very different. Their program, they just give you a certain number, anywhere from 1 to like, I think 4 or 5 companion passes with their, either the credit card or if you have a certain status with them. And then you can only use it on certain flights. Usually it's like their own flights. A lot of times it's domestic flights, maybe international, but there's like limits and rules and blackout dates and things like that. And restrictions, and they're kind of like one-time use situation. Whereas Southwest, there are no blackout dates, no restrictions, and it's unlimited use. So you could see the Southwest one is just like immensely more valuable than that. And you can change your companion 3 times a year. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt. So we'll go into it more later, like on the who should get the pass part. But essentially, you want to be kind of flying with the same person pretty consistently in order to get this. It's a highly coveted status program, can definitely lead to thousands of dollars in savings per year, really without trying. Those thousands of dollars add up really, really, really quick. So where can you go with Southwest? So these are all places that they fly. We've got, this was Puerto Vallarta, we got Jamaica, San Francisco, Hawaii, Arizona. This one is Lake Tahoe. This is somewhere in the Caribbean. I don't remember exactly where. And this one is, this is Belize. So all of these are places that Southwest flies. So it's not just the United States, and it's not just like continental US. You can get to Hawaii, and you can get to the Caribbean, and you can get to Central America. And that is huge because they really jack up the cash rates on some of those flights. So being able to take someone for free with you is enormous. We got a little testimonial here. I'm not going to take the time to read through the entire thing, but you could see that Cezanne, she's actually one of our Jagoot Lounge members. She's been in the lounge since, gosh, I think like the very beginning. She's one of our like OG people. Tons of success stories. She had never even flown Southwest before hearing me talk about the companion pass. Went out and got the pass. So what did they do? They flew free during, her husband flew free with her during spring break and Thanksgiving break to Belize, which is a pretty big money saver. I can imagine those Belize tickets were probably $600 to $800 round trip on the low end, and she's getting one of those for free. So huge. Cool. Oh, my thing froze. Hold on. There we go. I just didn't hit, I got to hit the button with a little bit more.
Show it who's boss.
I know. Okay. And the companion pass is more valuable this year than ever. This is kind of a me opinion. I'm not going to call it an opinion because I'm pretty sure I could back this up with facts if I put my mind to it and spend some time doing it. But Southwest flight prices, especially for times when kids are out of school and to destinations that are very popular, like tropical kind of destinations, your Caribbeans, Miami, Hawaii, all that kind of stuff. They have raised the prices on those during school breaks. And it's like really noticeable and really bad. Like they have actually removed their lowest fare class, the want to get away fare class, for holidays and school breaks for the most popular routes. So you can't even buy the cheapest ticket anymore with them during a lot of these popular times. It's really unfortunate. I'm really mad about it. I could do a whole rant about that separately, about like not letting us, like people take kids to explore, other countries and things. But the point is, it's even more valuable now because they're gouging a bit for these flights. And it's not like you could say, oh, I just won't fly Southwest for spring break. I'll go fly Delta. Good luck, because Delta is not charging any less. Like Southwest wouldn't be charging what they charged if their competitors weren't also doing it. Yep. So it's just bad across the board. And right now, to be able to, like, could you imagine, Anthony, with your family, if you had 2 companion passes, like just the power that could have? You don't really live in a Southwest hub, but if you did.
Yep. Yeah. If we did, that's a huge difference, because all of a sudden, even though the prices are always going up, not just with Southwest, but like you said, across the board, when you're getting buy one, get one, you're basically paying half price,
Hmm.
for each of those people. And so I'll take 50% off flights all day long.
Yeah, especially with a family for sure.
Yep.
I've had people literally only get a companion pass because they were trying to plan a trip to Hawaii and just got 2 companion passes. Like the mom and the dad each got one for each of their kids, to just go to Hawaii for half price. And that alone was so much value, like over $2,000 of value, that they
Yeah.
didn't even care if they never used the pass again, because they literally got way more value than they needed out of just one trip to Hawaii. I think it
That's
was,
fantastic.
yeah. So who should get the pass? So this leads me into a very important thing, kind of like how I said, Anthony, I'm like, well, you don't really live in a Southwest hub, so it might not be
Hmm.
the right deal for you. I think you would do much better with like Spirit or Frontier, like kind of options, because down there in Florida, that's like tons of they fly tons of routes out of there.
Yep.
But for people who live in a Southwest hub, you will get a lot more use. And when I talk about hubs, I really just mean because Southwest they don't necessarily operate a major hub like the big three do, like Delta, United, and AA do. They have several kind of little hubs around the country. You don't necessarily have to focus on whether or not you're in a hub. You could Google Southwest hubs. I also have some examples here: Nashville, Baltimore, Midway, Dallas, Orlando. But even if you're not on that list, there's others. Denver is a huge one. Denver might actually be either their biggest or their second biggest one. But even if you don't live in one of those cities, just look at the route network out of Southwest for your city. So that's really easy to do. You could just go to southwest.com, and you can type in, your home airport and just kind of put in some of the places you're looking to fly next year or this year and see if they offer nonstop flights. That's probably what I would do. And the reason I want to focus on nonstops for this is because if you have to have stops every time you fly, you're going to be way less incentivized to use this pass, right?
Mm.
You're probably going to be like, okay, I could, and this would be like a good example for you, Anthony, like, okay, I have a companion pass. I could get a buy one, get one free flight where I need to go, but I have to stop in Nashville to get there. Whereas Spirit is flying nonstop from Miami to where I need to go. You're probably just going to pick the Spirit flight, right? Like just
Yep.
for these. So I would want, if you're going to go after this pass, you'd at least have enough Southwest nonstops that fly out of your city, so that the pass doesn't get wasted because you don't feel like taking layovers.
Yep.
So
That's so important. This isn't just hey, this isn't a shiny object. Everybody drop everything and run to get it. What Stephanie's going through are some key things that help determine if this is worth you pursuing. So don't gloss over this part. This matters for you to get enough value out of it to go after it.
It definitely matters. And we're not really in the business, especially not me, like not in the business of coming on here and just be like, oh, go do this thing, go buy this program, go get this status. No, everything we do is with intention. So
Yep.
you want to know that you're going to use this and that's right for you. And if it's not right for you, you could even like tune out and like not even listen to the rest of this live stream if you want to, if this doesn't seem right for you. If you fly solo and you're like, I don't care, I won't be offended if you just log off. It's fine.
That's a great point. That question was already asked. I saved it for you here.
Yeah,
I travel primarily by myself. Should I
this
still
is
get the
probably not
companion
for you.
pass?
No, I mean, you can hang out and like, you can hang out with us for the next hour and just learn about it, because if you have friends who it might be useful, it could be good information to know, but it is probably not going to help you, like, truthfully. Cool. And then you want to look at how many flights you're going to take. But I feel like these numbers change almost daily. I sat down and did the math, but I did it like a year ago. And I think it's gotten worse since then. But I actually sat down and calculated how many dollars do you need to save in order to make it worth it to divert some of your spend and your energy and your efforts into opening Southwest cards versus your Chase Sapphire or your Amex cards. And the dollar amount I came up with was about $1,000. That is about as much opportunity cost that you're like missing out by doing Southwest versus those other ones. So you need to make sure you're going to save more than $1,000. And that is so easy to do. You could actually do it in one trip these days with some of these prices, honestly. But calculate the number of flights that you want to take this year and next year, and multiply them by about $200 per segment. That's the average that it was at the time when I did the math. It's probably way worse now. And then just see if the number's higher than 1,000. So it's going to be about 5 one ways, right? Or like 4.5, 2.5 like trips. So if you're going to fly, if you're going to take 3 vacations in the next year and a half, this is for you. If you live somewhere that Southwest has a lot of nonstop flights. So it's pretty easy, right? Like that doesn't even feel that bad. Okay. So moving on to how to earn it. So it's earned by, you have to get 135,000 qualifying points in a calendar year or fly 100 one-way flights. Pretty much no one's flying 100 one-way flights. Like no one's doing that. Maybe if you fly for business, even then you'd have to fly every 3 days. Like we don't even talk about attaining the pass that way because there's no way to hack it. There's no way to like make this easier. So we're going to focus solely on earning 135,000 points in a calendar year because that is something that you can actually like attainably do. Okay. So there's 3 different methods we talk about for how to earn this pass. The fast track method, which is opening 2 credit cards and combining their sign-up bonuses together. Southwest has several cards. They have personal and business cards, so you could open 2. The hybrid method, which is opening 1 new card and then earn the additional points through spending through Southwest partners. So they have like dining, hotel partners, shopping partners. That's how you can earn the extra points that you need without having to put all of your daily spend on your Southwest card. And then there's the slow and steady. So this is what I actually like to do. And I earn my points slowly throughout the year through partner spend with Southwest. I earn referrals, maybe some like a hotel stay, stuff like that, where I'm earning points throughout the year and through flying, right? I'm earning points throughout the year. And then by the end of the year, I've made enough points that I've earned my companion pass for the next year. So another thing we didn't mention on the last slide, it is good for the year that you earn it and then the entire next year. So if you earn it in February, it's good for the rest of this year and then all of 2026. So the only way to get it for a full 2 years is if basically you were to earn it right now, which means you would have needed to kind of start a month or so ago. But that's no worries at all. You could get it in February, March, April, May, June, and I bet you're still going to get over $1,000 of value easily.
Yep.
Even if you start.
It's not hard to do. George just shared just through May of this year, they're saving $2,000 with their companion pass.
That's
so we're not even getting into the first half of the year, and they've already doubled, what your savings goal is with this Southwest companion pass. So there's still plenty of time.
Oh, plenty of time. It only took me 2 trips to hit $1,000 because of the pricing that they have these days. Another testimonial here from Jessica, one of our really OG members. She's had the companion pass every year for the last several years. Since she's been in the lounge, she's had the companion pass every year. She cannot live without it. Absolutely can't live without it. She uses it all the time. And I'm sure she would love to tell you ways that she's used it. If you see her in the comments, give her a little shout out. Okay. Why do you need a mid-year strategy? And when I say mid-year, I know it's January, but this means anytime from January to June, we're going to call it mid-year, right? So over 50% of our Southwest, I had a typo in there. I'm just going to call myself that I wrote Southeast. I don't know why. Autocorrect. Over 50% of our Southwest course customers choose the hybrid or the slow and steady. That's true. Only about half of our people do the fast track method. Everyone else relies on earning points through Southwest partners throughout the year in order to maintain their pass if they already have it or earn it new. Those methods require an earning strategy that lasts several months or the whole year. So when you're not doing fast track, you have to put a lot more just intention and thought into your plan. You might need a little bit more help strategizing. You need to be more planful. All of those things. And that's why we talk about Southwest all year round. And we don't just talk about it in October like everyone else. Because there's just so much more to it when you're not just trying to open a bunch of credit cards.
Yep.
Here's some just examples of mid-year promos that I've seen that I've taken advantage of. There's been 10x on groceries for credit card holders was a random promo that I've gotten a couple years in a row. There's been hotels that offer 8 to 20 points per dollar in their hotel portal. There are fare sales that actually impact multiple markets. So you could just be buying up some cheap Southwest flights and then be earning 2 or 3x points on those flights. There's some great shopping portal deals. Like I got 5,000 points by getting a Green Chef subscription and had some meals delivered to the house, like meal kit stuff. So these are just examples of like things you could be doing throughout the year to just continue to earn points and get to your companion pass.
That's great. And so just for clarity, not only when you take like 10x on groceries, if they gave you an offer for that, you not only get those miles for the spend on the groceries, but those miles that you earn also apply to your companion pass. You kind of get both there, right?
Yep.
That's
All
great.
of those points are eligible. There are some exceptions of points that aren't eligible for companion pass. It will always say it in the fine print if it's not. But most of the deals that they give you from like the hotel portal, the shopping portal, all that stuff is eligible for companion pass.
That's great.
And I know, I actually want to highlight, oh, you already started this one here. How do we learn about mid-year promos? I'm going to tell you guys kind of how you can be in the know about this stuff through our mini course that we offer, where we keep you in the know on this stuff. But aside from joining our mini course, I just keep an eye on my account page on southwest.com. Under my account, they will tell you about like credit card promos. As far as like hotel and shopping portal promos, you just kind of have to be checking all the time. Just maybe once a week, check those sites and just see what they've got that is interesting to you. Wait, I'm not ready for that yet. Hold on. I'm going to go back here because I want to highlight one other cool thing about Companion Pass, and probably the thing I use my Companion Pass for the most, I think. I'll have to fact check that, but something I use my Companion Pass for a lot is positioning. So we can see this picture, right? I don't know if anybody else besides me and Anthony, you might know like where this photo comes from, right? This is Santorini. This is Greece.
Pop quiz.
Yeah, right. This is not somewhere that Southwest flies, right? Everyone's probably like, they don't fly to Greece. What are you talking about? One thing I really love using my Companion Pass for is positioning. So when I go to Greece, when I want to go to Santorini, I use my Companion Pass to get myself to New York. And then from New York, I can fly Emirates, or I can fly multiple airlines over to Europe in business class using my Chase points or my Amex points. And I've used my Southwest Companion Pass and my Southwest points to get myself to my positioning airport. So when people say positioning is expensive, I have a family, I don't want to fly to New York because then I have that extra expense. Well, now you kind of don't. So this is a huge part of it. I use my Companion Pass to get down to Miami. I should come see you, Anthony.
Let's go.
On my way to Switzerland next month. I'm going to be spending a whole day in Miami, soaking up some sun on the beach before getting on my midnight flight on Air France in business class out to Switzerland. And I use my Companion Pass to get to Miami. So I have like no expense, and I used Hyatt points for the hotel. So it literally is costing me $0 to get to Miami to go to Switzerland.
That's great.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
But that is kind of the power of this. So want to put that out there too, because we're kind of tying it all together, right? Because it doesn't feel very much like the J-Goot way to just use Southwest points, which have kind of a minimal value, to fly around domestically, right? We want to tie it into how does this work into the big luxury trip ideal, and that is how, via positioning. And one other thing I want to hit on is why we talk about 3 different strategies is because we don't want you to just open up a Southwest card and put 100% of your daily spend on it to get a Companion Pass. That's not the point. If you were going to put all of your daily spend on a pass for months and months and months, or sorry, on a card for months and months and months, we would want it to be a card that has a lot better value, where the points are worth a lot more. And Southwest points are not worth a lot. Their points are worth 1.4 cents. Like that's across the board. And that number is maybe off by a few little decimals. It might be like 0.3999. So don't come for me in the comments, but like it's about 1.4. That's all you're getting. That's not even as good of a value as the Chase portal for CSR holders, right? Chase reserve holders. So Southwest points are worth not much. So you don't want to sit here and accumulate a bunch of Southwest points unless you're going after the Companion Pass. And then the second you get the pass, I would not put another $1 on that Southwest card. because I'd rather my spend be on a Chase Sapphire, an Amex Gold, an Amex Plaid, et cetera, because those are transferable points that will get you outsized value. So that's why we want to do this with putting as little spend on the Southwest card as possible, which is why we're maxing out, these grocery offers, hotel offers, shopping portal offers, doing the fast track where you're opening the 2 cards and getting the sign up bonuses. That's why we're doing all of this instead of just using the card every day. So I want to
That's great. This is a quick diversion if it's valuable enough for you until we get back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah. Exactly.
Of transferable points.
Yep. I had to divert in December because I almost didn't make it to my points by the end of the year. So I diverted for about 2 weeks. I put everything on my Southwest card. But then I very quickly moved it all back because I didn't want to lose out on that opportunity.
Yep.
I want to highlight this one too. Are you located in a Southwest hub? Yes, I'm in Nashville. So we're a pretty big Southwest hub, which is what kind of got me into this, right? Like almost everywhere I want to fly nonstop, it's on Southwest, unless I want to go to an AA, United, or Delta hub. Everything else is Southwest for me. So yeah. Okay, let's dig into some questions first, and then I will share information about the mini course that we have, but we're relaunching it tomorrow, and I want to talk about that. But first, I want to answer some questions. Unless they're questions about the course, then I'll hold those.
No, I grabbed several of them here that we'll just kind of go through them from the top here that have to do with what you've been kind of presenting on.
Yeah.
And so this might be a good kind of clarifying question for you here. Open a business card. Can you do the companion pass using the business card? Sure, I read or saw it, but so double checking here.
Yeah. So business card points are eligible towards companion pass. Those are the same type of points you get from the personal card. You just have to make sure you put your Rapid Rewards account number on your application when you apply, because if not, they will open you a new Rapid Rewards account, and you don't want to do that because that gets messy. Then you got to call them and combine them and all that. So just make sure that your business card is tied to your Rapid Rewards number, and you'll be fine.
Cool. Pro tip.
Just received companion pass. Oh, on January 6th, it says I need to book and use by March 6th, so only 2 months. Can I get that extended? It was a promotion. Yeah, so you got a promotional companion pass, and there's nothing wrong with that. Those are actually really cool, and I like them to like bridge the gap between when you're going for your companion pass and when you actually get it. That 2 months can be a really nice way to bridge the gap between opening your new card and like earning the points that you need. You can't extend it. That's just the promotion that you signed up for. You could still go after the companion pass the traditional way, and it'll just pick up when that one expires. You won't even notice, a difference. So that is probably what I would try to do.
Cool. Can you use the companion pass? I think you mentioned this already, but when you book a flight with points?
Yes. Yeah, you can book your flight with points or with cash. And note that even though you need to earn 135,000 points to earn the pass, you don't trade those points in for the pass. You still get to use those points on flights, which is really cool, because now not only do you have a companion pass, but you're also sitting on a mountain of points that you can just use on flights until those points are gone. It's not worth hoarding them. Like, use them.
Yep. Yeah, you won't negotiate better value or find a stellar deal like you can with the transferable points.
Right.
Good.
And they're only going to devalue over time anyway, so just use them.
Yep.
I'll call out Shannon. Don't be like Shannon and hoard all your points. She's probably mad at me in the comments now.
We'll look for her.
Yeah. If you earn the companion pass in early 2024 and then again through 2025, even though you wouldn't need it for 2025, would you then also be qualified again for 26? No. So if you earned it in 2024, you have it through the end of this year. December 31st, when the clock strikes midnight, you're going to lose it. So you have to do something this year in order to re-qualify and re-earn the 135,000 points. You could use the slow and steady method and just kind of slowly earn points throughout the year. You can wait till the end of the year and close and open your cards, or one card. It's up to you, but you do have to do something this year to re-earn it for 26. Yeah.
Yep. That's great. Shannon heard you. You're busted.
I love it. I'm just keeping things spicy in here, Shannon. That's all.
I thought our JGoot book, this is a good clarifying thing. I know we touched on
Yeah.
it, but we'll dig in a little bit here. I thought our JGoot book that I just finished reading discourages opening other credit cards.
It absolutely does. That's why
Yep.
the Southwest Companion Pass is like, it's a different beast. It's a different thing that we offer. It's its own mini course for this reason. It's not part of our core curriculum in the JGoot Lounge. It's not part of our core curriculum in the book, because it is considered optional, like an extra that you can pursue if you fit the criteria to pursue this. If you fly with the same person consistently, if you live in a place that has enough flights from Southwest, and if you are going to travel enough to use it, that's why we say only those people should be going for it, because otherwise I would discourage you from opening a Southwest card. But the Companion Pass is so valuable. For people who could make use of it, we don't want to completely ignore it, right? But that's why we have it as its own mini course and its own kind of separate thing, separate from the book. Yeah, it's the exception to the rule.
Yep. That's great. And it is very powerful. Here's somebody else who's taken advantage of it. We save so much money with this. We fly on average twice a month domestic. So it's really worth it. It adds up. And like you mentioned, you can change up to 3 times a year who your companion is.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really glad, Laura. That's really cool.
Yeah. So you can see the start comments. I'll grab a couple here. Some of them are starting to get a little bit specific to people's personal situations. So we'll talk about maybe the best places to get some of those answered.
Sure. Let me do
Go
this.
ahead if there's some that jump out. Yeah.
Well, this one's just easy. Yes, they do have annual fees, but obviously the fees are well negated by the discounts on flights that you're getting. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, some of these are pretty specific here. No, you can't have 2 people. You can have 2 people play this game, but they can't play it in the same year. So if you and your P2 open separate cards, you have 2 different rapid rewards numbers attached to those cards. Those numbers do not combine. So you'd have to you open the cards this year and your P2 can open them 2 years from now. This is kind of a good general one. Is it only good for one way? Could you use it for a flight that's nonstop? Yeah. So if you're talking about like flights that have stops, the whole itinerary, your companion will be added. So if you book a round trip with multiple stops, your companion will be added for the whole thing. If it's a one-way nonstop, your companion will be added to the one flight. Whatever you book, however you book it, your companion is along with you and you have to fly with them. Can't fly without your companion. Well, you can fly without your companion, but your companion can't fly without
you.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So let me get into what is going on with the relaunch here. We have our mini course. So we launched this originally like back in May, and then we relaunched it in November with all new content. We recorded all new videos. So everything is like super up to date and awesome. We teach you how to get the Companion Pass for a maximum of 2 years, even if you've had it in the past. So we go through all of those tracks, the fast track, slow and steady, and the hybrid in detail, and actually outline step-by-step how to do it and examples of all the shopping portal and hotel portal deals that you can find, as well as teaching you how to find them, how to navigate those sites, all the links you need, all of that stuff is there. You choose which method that you want to use, and then the pitfalls to avoid. We give you a pre-application checklist. So we talk a little bit about how to get approved for the cards if you're just struggling to get approvals, or kind of what you need to do or plan for in advance so that you have the highest odds of getting approved. Of course, we are not the banks. We can't control you getting approved. We could just tell you how to set yourself up for success and then what to do if you're denied. We also talk about a cool little deal with Amex Platinum where you could get $200 in free travel credits through Southwest with a certain credit card. So we go through how to do that. And then planning ahead to get Companion Pass. And this would be like in 2027 or 2026. If your Companion Pass expires this year, you would learn that as well. So that's all part of the mini course. This is all on a monthly like membership style. So you could get all of your questions answered throughout the year, not just in January. You could stay on top of your companion pass earning goals, all the Southwest news, all the deals, and more. So I put together a newsletter. Here it's down here. I put together a newsletter every month, comes out on the first of the month, and it gives you a hotel spotlight deal. And you don't have to book that hotel, but it just gives you an example of what you should be looking for and how you should be finding them. I also go through a couple of my favorite shopping portal deals. So you don't necessarily have to be checking the shopping portal every day. You could just kind of look out for my email. I also go through any promotions, like when Costco had gift cards for Southwest on sale. It's like a $500 gift card on sale for $429. I put the link in the newsletter and said like, hey, go get your Southwest gift cards for $80 off. Here's how to find them. If there's typical promos that they have every week, I don't highlight those because those are so normal. But if they do a very unusual promo that's like extra great, I'll highlight that too, as well as where to find it. And then you can engage with other members too in a Q&A live session every month. Anthony helps me out with those. And people hang out in the comments and ask questions. And I answer every single question. I make a point to. If I don't give you the exact answer, I'll tell you where to find the answer, but every single question gets answered. And
those are golden because they happen every month. So it's real time. The promos that are available this month or the timing of certain things, it's not a January live stream. It's every month. So it's always the most up-to-date stuff. That's why I love hanging out at those with you.
Yeah. And we, the topics will change each month, right? Because as we get later and later in the year, people might have more questions about the slow and steady method. And so it'll keep everything like super up to date. And of course, if there's any really crazy deals, I will send off-cycle emails to let you know. So I do that as well. And then the curriculum lessons, of course, you get all those and you get to watch those as many times as you need to. And I encourage you to watch them more than once for sure.
Yeah.
So if you go to, this is slightly, it's actually just jgoop.com/Southwest. Let's get a banner up here.
I gotcha.
It's perfect.
I grabbed it earlier.
You'll see it's not on sale yet. The sale starts tomorrow. But you'll see that there is a countdown there. I think it's noon Eastern tomorrow it starts. So we typically this would go for $97, but when we run these sales and let people back in, we bring it down to $27 a month. And the reason why we don't constantly let people in and why we kind of have rollouts slowly throughout the year is to keep the Q&As a manageable amount of people so that we can answer every single question. If we had 1,000 people in that Q&A, it'd be very difficult. So you will rest assured that pretty much you're always going to get really good quality, like attention from us in these Q&As and good quality newsletters because we are keeping these mini courses kind of small. And because of that, we're actually only even opening the doors for 2 days. It's just going to be tomorrow and Wednesday. So you got to kind of make a decision. You have tonight to think about it. Talk to whoever needs to talk to. And then tomorrow at noon Eastern, set your timers, your calendars, your alarms. And you can log on to jgoot.com/Southwest and snag that. And then we're giving away those savings cards as well. I think it's a $200 travel savings card. It's not a gift card. It's like a discount card where you could book hotels, cars, or excursions. I like to use mine on excursions. I think that's where I get the best value. And I
think that's for the first 100 people who join, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah.
So jump in, grab one of those. It kind of negates the price, honestly. You can't use it all at once. It kind of just gives you little discounts on things you do, but it will help negate the price. And it's only $27 a month. Plus, I believe there's a 7-day free trial. So you could try us out too if you're just unsure if the companion pass is right for you and where you live. So that's an option too. So I think that's all I had from the offer standpoint. Let me just see if there's any other comments that we want to address, and then we can wrap it up.
Yeah, we've got a couple coming in about the course itself, and then there's still a couple about the companion pass here. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can cancel whenever you want. There's no like, I don't know, contract or whatever.
Yep.
You're good to cancel whenever. And some people do just take the videos and then cancel. I think missing out on the Q&As and the newsletters, to me, I'd almost rather have the Q&As and the newsletters than the course at this point, because the course you learn one time. If you were paying enough attention in this presentation and you do some homework, you might actually be able to figure out your companion pass strategy without the course. But the deals in the newsletter and the Q&As, to just have access to experts once a month, and they're recorded so you can watch them, that to me is far more valuable. And I think that's where your $27 a month is really going. So yeah, you can cancel anytime. I don't know why you would, but you could. I kind of have, I don't even have, I was gonna say I have to say that. I don't have to say that. I truly, truly believe that, because we have so much fun on our Q&As, and I think they're really valuable.
Yep. And we get to keep seeing stories like the ones that we saw earlier. Oh, I've saved $2,000 so far, I will by May of this year, and that kind of thing. And that's because of not only getting it, but learning how to best use it, get the most out of it, and get it repeatedly.
Yeah. Yep. Especially if people take the course and then cancel, and then all of a sudden their pass is about to expire and they're like, uh-oh, I need the course again.
Yep.
And that's what happens. If I'm doing slow and steady, I should probably divert Rakuten spend to the Southwest shopping portal. Good plan? Yeah, probably. Just as long as you need to until you hit companion pass. If you have hotel stays, I'd prefer, you get a lot more bang for your buck with hotels. So that might help you not divert all your Rakuten spend, because the Southwest shopping portal is not as good as Rakuten's portal. But you will discover that.
Yep. And I've watched you do those live demos on these Q&As. I think it was last month you were looking at hotels and finding just outrageous deals for the number of points that they give you per dollar spent when you book through their Southwest portal. It's a really good way.
20x, like 20 points per dollar on some of those hotels. Yeah.
Yep.
But this is a great example. And the reason I want to highlight this, because this is a little advanced for what we're talking about today, but this is an example of a question that we would go through in a Q&A. Like this type of question. Not only is it a great question, I could tell Sarah does her homework. She pays attention. She's read the book. I could tell. But this is like the types of high quality questions we get in the Q&A, and we go through them and explain the whys. And I'd probably like show a little demo. And that's kind of like what you're getting in those Q&As. So for opening both to do the fast track, open one and then the other. So I'm assuming she's saying open one card and then the other card once you can add your rewards number from the first application to the second card. Yeah, every time you fill out a card application, there's a line for your rapid rewards number. Just make sure you're putting the same rapid rewards number, and it'll go to the same account. My oldest card with the highest limit is my Southwest card. My wife and I have swapped companion pass back and forth for the last 4 years. So now it's my turn, but I've been advised to open 2 business cards instead. Does that sound good? You could do that. Yep, you can do that. If you don't want to close your, I wouldn't close your Southwest card if it's your oldest card. 2 business cards is fine. Great question. Another really good example of like what would happen in a Q&A. Okay. I have Southwest Visa, which are primary spend card, and a business Southwest Visa tied to that account for rapid rewards card. Can I open a third card? I don't, they technically allow you to hold 2 business cards, but I don't see why you need 3 Southwest cards for kind of any scenario. You shouldn't even be putting your primary spend on that Southwest Visa at all. So
yep.
I think the course is for you, Jen Jack. I think you would just get a lot of value with your current situation on going through the course, because it would tell you when to put your primary spend on the card and when not to, and then what cards to like keep and what cards to get rid of. Like that would all be covered pretty easily in the course. And then we could definitely like walk through it in a Q&A too on like which one to close. But I would not open a third card just yet, but you definitely seem like a really good candidate for this course, because there's a lot to unpack there. This is a good question too. Can we get a copy of this presentation? So I believe this is live for 12 hours and then it goes into the vaults. Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Something, I think it goes to like midnight Eastern time, something like that, and then it will move to the vault. One of our experts in the chat will correct us if we're explaining the timeline wrong there.
Yeah, help us out, chat. But yeah, that's the idea behind the vault, is if you're part of that mini course, is that you get access to all the presentations. But you can still watch this like in the next couple hours. So if you were busy or if you're working right now and you're multitasking, just pull it back up later tonight, like after dinner, you should be able to watch it.
Yep. And then after that, that's where you're going to head, jgoot.com/vault. That's where you'll find all of these Monday live stream presentations. This is not where the Southwest course is. So I just want to make sure you all understand the difference in that. If you're looking for this Southwest course, that's where you want to head, jgoot.com/Southwest. You'll see a little countdown there before it goes live tomorrow. And that's where you can get access to the entire course and to Stephanie, our Southwest expert.
You know what I'd maybe do if it were me and I didn't get to watch this whole presentation? I'd maybe just, because there's a 7-day free trial on the course, right? I'd maybe just go buy the course. And then if you watch the first video of the course and you're like, oh, you know what? I don't ever fly Southwest. I'm not going to use this. It's okay. Like, you have 7 days you can cancel. So you could do that too. Or you could join the vault. Either one. I'm cool with either.
I love it.
I think we got through all the started questions. I think we're good. Anthony, I don't know if there's any other questions you want to highlight.
No, I think we've covered most everything. And then again, we have Shannon and some of our other experts out in the chat who are addressing a lot of these. Other than the personal questions, we know you guys have a lot of, here's my specific situation, which is hard to do for hundreds and hundreds of people on a live stream. But those are exactly the kind of thing that you can bring to the Q&As in the course, so that you can get direct access and get some help.
Oh, I have another. This is a good one too.
Yeah.
Not be able to travel until 2026. Should I apply for the credit cards now or wait till June, July? It's not going to matter if you do it now or in June, because your pass is good until the end of 2026 anyway. So honestly, it's entirely up to you, the strategy that you're using, and what your spend capability looks like, because you do have to meet the minimum spend on both the cards. Or if you're probably a good candidate to do the hybrid method, because you have time. You can like take some time to earn some points. You don't have to rush. But yeah, Clara, you'd be a really good candidate for taking the course and reading through the hybrid method. But you don't have to rush at all. Is Seattle a hub? Not really, but you know what? Take a look at where Southwest flies from Seattle. Like, go in there and just kind of poke around to all the destinations you want to go to in the next 2 years and see if they have nonstop flights there. I don't want to necessarily say yes, no, without seeing what their route network kind of looks like from your airport. And kind of same thing for Wendy. Most of your direct flights are Frontier or Alaska. It makes this less desirable. Is there a situation where it might be worth doing? Same thing. I would just make a list of all the places you really want to go in the next 2 years, or just places that sound interesting to you. You could also go to like southwest.com and they have a tab that just says where we fly, and look at all the places that they fly, see what looks interesting, and then do some sample searches and see what those flights look like. Do they have long layovers? Are they like stupid flight times, 5 a.m. flights? Just like see, yeah, like, is your future self that wakes up at 2 a.m. going to be really mad at you? I would just look at all that stuff and then make a determination. I don't want to sit here and say, if you live in the city, don't do it. There's just so much more to it than that.
Yep.
Oh, this person's been a Southwest card holder for 15 years. Russ is a OG.
OG.
Keep getting offers for bonus points to open another card, and the fine print says only for new card holders. Yeah. Oh, this is a good point. If you have not earned a bonus in the last 2 years, which you definitely clearly have not, then you're eligible for a bonus again. So some of that fine print might be referring to that rule, but you should be good. And you can't hold 2 personal cards with them. You'd have to cancel the one you have and then reopen it with the new deal, but you certainly can. You are eligible to do that. We answered this one already, and Shannon did too. Thanks, Shannon. Okay. I think we're good. I think we can wrap up. These were some really good, high quality questions. Nothing in the course is changing tomorrow, Shannon. If you're already part of the course, then enjoy. There's nothing different you need to do. This is just for people who didn't get a chance to join in November, or maybe people who found us after November and didn't even know that we offered this. This is for them. So if you're already part of the course, nothing's changing for you.
That's great. This is a good one. Oh, we had the same idea.
Is it the same one?
Yep.
Sorry, I'm going to stop.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Do I need to be registered in anything else with JGoot before I register for this mini course for Southwest?
No, I highly recommend reading the book. I highly recommend reading the book no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Because the book just gives you the baseline understanding of what points are, how to use them, flexible versus non-flexible points. Like those are all good foundations you need to really understand any of these concepts. So I would definitely read the book. It's not that long of a read. You could get it digitally. I think you can get the audiobook and you can have Joel read to you in the car. Yeah. But the only thing I'd say is read the book. It's not required. I just highly suggest it. Other than that, you don't have to buy another thing from JGoot to get this mini course. You don't have to be in the vault. You don't have to do anything crazy. You don't have to be in the lounge. You just pay $27 and save thousands of dollars.
And this whole Southwest course stands on its own. That's why you don't have to. There are a lot of other, things that we have here, but this Southwest course stands all on its own. Everything you need for the Southwest Companion Pass is in that course.
Yep. And to Jennifer, heck yeah, you can refer your spouse when you're ready to switch in 24 months when the CP is expiring to get the referral. And we highly encourage it. And then for this one, Southwest does not have lie flat seats. They don't fly. I wish. Oh, could you imagine? They don't fly long enough routes to have large enough airplanes for that. Their entire fleet are 737s, which are like kind of medium-sized airplanes, not the little guys, not the big ones. They're the normal, like domestic planes. So no, unfortunate. And I'm sure if they did, they'd probably put something in the fine print where all of a sudden the companion pass doesn't qualify for those flights, right? Like okay, I think we can now officially wrap up. Thanks everyone for your questions. This was great. And feel free to go check out the website now and look at the details of what you get and the countdown, and then you will be able to join tomorrow. We're only opening this for 2 days. And I really hope I see you all in the Q&A later this month.
Yeah. If you join now, you'll have access to the Q&A that takes place this month as well. So that's great. Awesome. Well, thanks, Stephanie. This was a lot of fun. Thanks for hanging out.
Cool. Thanks, Anthony. Thank you for helping me moderate. Thanks everyone in the chat for helping moderate. Shannon, AJ, anybody else I missed. Thank you so much. And I hope you all have a happy Monday. All righty. Bye.
Cool. See y'all. Bye-bye.